Hey guys, Ellie here. Today, I wanted to share a really special story with you guys about some of PawPaw's favorite animals that he has in his pasture. You know, PawPaw of course loves all of his animals the same way that we all do, but some of them just have more outgoing personalities than others. That's just a part of life for humans, animals, really anything, even probably bacteria. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, no, in all seriousness though, these guys, he calls them the three Musketeers. You have Ivan, Miracle, and Mocha. And I tell you, this right here is a very iconic and unlikely trio. I mean, how often do you see a donkey, a cow, and a goat that are best pals? I haven't seen anything like it, that's for sure. But they all have amazing backstories, and they all are survivors in their own right. So I thought y'all would enjoy their stories. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, guys, so I'm going to try to go in order here. I'm not exactly sure if Mocha or Miracle came first because they were born at around the exact same time, but I'll just start with Mocha because her story is the simplest, but it doesn't make her any less of a survivor. So Mocha was born around 10 months ago. It was May 2020, and her mom was a granny goat. And I don't know if it was because her mom was older or what the deal was, but for whatever reason, her mom would no longer nurse her. Whenever Mocha was born, the mom wouldn't feed her, and she kind of just turned Mocha away. And she would have died if PawPaw didn't take it upon himself to just go feed her and love on her and just basically nurture her back to health. And so it's pretty simple and straightforward. I made a video about that 10 months ago, but like I said, it doesn't make her any less of a survivor. So Mocha is 10 months old. Like I said, she's doing great now. What's interesting about her is that it looks like she has powder on her fur at all times. She has I know she's wet because it just rained, but she also always either looks dirty or looks like she has powder, and I can never tell if it's just her pattern or if she's really is always dirty, because none of the other goats are like that. I just petted her and my hands still look fine. They don't feel any dirtier than they do petting any other goat. So Ivan wants to go next. Ivan, you had to go last, buddy, because you were born the most recently. You can't go. I can't tell your story yet, dude. You got to go last, Ivan. I'm sorry. Oh, this boy Ivan just can never get enough love and enough pets, honestly. Look at this guy. Ivan, you are so sweet, dude. Ivan literally is the friendliest donkey I've ever seen. Sometimes we speak in hyperbole, we exaggerate, or we just kind of speak ironically, sarcastically, but I'm being 110% dead serious that Ivan is the by far runaway most friendly donkey I have ever seen. Maybe even the most friendly animal, because he's up there with some of the friendliest goats we've had too. Look at this. See this right here? This is just another level of love, cuddliness, you name it. But enough about Ivan. I'm going to save his story for last because, again, he's the most recent one. I was talking about Mocha. Ivan, you kind of messed up part of Mocha's story. But Mocha prays while she eats. That's my dad calls this right here when they bend their knees and try to eat. He calls that goat praying. That's what Brady and Manny have done before. And Mocha does it too, I guess. I just learned that. But no, the most interesting thing about Mocha is her fur. It always looks like she's dirty or looks like she has powder, but I think it's just her pattern because I pet her and none of it comes off, and my hands aren't not any more dirty than any other goat. So it's just a really unique color that she has to her. Okay, next up we got Miracle. Now Miracle has probably the most in-depth story, so let's go ahead and get started with Miracle. Miracle was born around the exact same time as Mocha in May 2020. In the video that I made with Mocha, that video had a Miracle story in it also, so they were part of the exact same video I made 10 months ago. But basically, here's how it goes. One of PawPaw's female cows was pregnant, and she got out of his pasture and escaped into that field over there somewhere. And so PawPaw, Uncle Dan, and the people who lived here did a search trying to find that mother, and it was really hard for them, but they ended up finding her. Unfortunately, she had passed away though. She had complications during birth, and they could see that she had a baby calf and that she didn't make it. The baby calf was nowhere to be seen though. So PawPaw, Uncle Dan, they assumed that a predator like a coyote or something went ahead and snatched up the calf and took it and ate it and killed it. And so it was really sad, but sometimes nature can be cruel and unforgiving. So they went ahead and went about their days until one day, maybe a day or two later, I think it was about 2 days later, Uncle Dan was out there mowing that field, just mowing the grass, and he saw a white head sticking out from the bushes. And so he went over there and looked, and lo and behold, it was a baby calf. It was her. And so Uncle Dan was shocked. He told Pawpaw. They got the calf, and then they brought it home, and they could see that, considering it had been out there on its own for probably 24 to 48 hours, it hadn't had any food, so she was really, really weak and frail. And once again, Pawpaw took it upon himself to give her milk and go ahead and love her and nurture her back to health. And so Miracle is an incredible survivor in that sense. I think I inadvertently named Miracle, or my dad, I forget. But I remember when I made the video, I asked Pawpaw if he had any name ideas for this cow right here. And then Pawpaw was like, you know, I ain't thought of anything too specific yet. And I said, well, what about Miracle? Because it is kind of a miracle she survived. And whenever I said that, the comments on my video were full of people saying, yes, Ellie, Miracle, I love it. Miracle's so awesome. That's a great name. And so that's what we went ahead and went with. Oh, I forgot actually, for Mocha, I think you guys named Mocha too, because Pawpaw told me that some of my followers or some of my dad's followers said that we should name her Mocha because of her color. So y'all name Mocha and Miracle, I guess. So yeah, Miracle has a pretty special story. All right, Ivan, and now it's your turn. I'll tell Ivan's story finally. Ow, ow, oh no, thorn stickers, ow, ow. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that right there would not feel good going into your leg. I got lucky right there. All right, now it's time for Ivan's story. This story's a little bit tricky to tell, so I'm going to try to just tell it in order the best that I can. So let's backtrack about 2 years ago. We have a female donkey named Imogene. She is pregnant and gives birth to a baby in about August 2019. One of our other female donkeys named Ivy, who's about 30 years old and can't have a baby of her own, comes and steals Imogene's baby off of her and begins nursing the baby herself, which bamboozled us all. We didn't even know that was possible. Ivy wasn't pregnant, but was somehow producing milk and had enough hormones flowing to nurse a baby that wasn't even hers. And so that was pretty crazy. Now we fast forward about a year later. It's late 2020. Imogene's pregnant again. This time though, we separate her and Ivy so that whenever Imogene gives birth, Ivy doesn't try to take over this baby and nurse it like she did the last time. And all that went according to plan. Imogene gave birth to her new baby. We named Beverly. Actually, you guys named Beverly in December 2020, and Imogene began nursing her fine, and so everything was good on that front. We let Ivy back in there with Imogene at some point, and all was good. However, fast forward about 1 month later, January 2021, this was about 2 months ago, we go outside one morning and we see Ivy nursing her own baby. We look over, we see Imogene nursing Beverly and Ivy with her own baby, which can only mean that Ivy somehow was pregnant for so many months without even showing any much of a bulge, without us realizing it, and gave birth, did all of that at 30 plus years old. That's a pretty immaculate conception if you ask me. Maybe not quite as much as Jesus, but still pretty impressive, pretty miraculous nonetheless. And that baby that Ivy gave birth to at 30 plus years old was Ivan, as you may have guessed. Now, a lot of you will remember this because this was only about 2 months ago, but after Ivy gave birth to Ivan, we had to separate them because they kind of weren't good for each other. As sad as that sounds, it's true, because Ivy, being 30 plus years old, wasn't able to supply Ivan with really as much milk as he needed to develop into a healthy baby. And Ivan was sucking what little Ivy could give him out of her and was basically just sucking her dry, making her frail, just a less healthy version of herself. And so they really weren't the best fit for each other. So we made the choice to take Ivan to my grandpa's house so he could bottle feed him and give him the proper amount of milk that he needed to develop into a healthier baby. And then Ivy, not having a baby to nurse, basically allowed her to dry up and just go back to being a regular donkey, not producing hormones that she wasn't meant to produce. And so, very stormy day today. Very, very stormy. But yeah, y'all. Oh, that's pretty majestic. I like that. Yeah. With that said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you want to see. Hope you have a great day. And as I always say, your boy Ellie out.